From that, from your previous work, what were some of the things that kind of were unusual, that you, wildlife or plant life that you saw?
Water quality was generally very good, and also aquatic creature was actually very excellent. Okay? Probably one of the highest quality, okay, in the area in terms of the inside. But along the shoreline, yeah, there's a lot of those exotic and invasive problematic weeds. So they got rid of them temporarily, then planted with a native plant, but they come back. Yeah.
Well, I'm really interested in you probably you won't be involved in that, but one of the fish that is in threatened at Wolf Lake is the Iowa darter. And as a person raised in Iowa, I have a connection with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully the restoration of the shoreline will increase the habitat for the Iowa darter, and it'll become larger in number.
Yeah. Also, the fish also in the wildlife, actually, that we found one case is on the Franklin Bronze School, which is a state endangered species. Also, a couple of those are just by the salamanders.
Yeah, so one.
Yeah.
We have one here.
Yeah, we have one here.
That, so that's kind of neat. Are there any questions? Is that we will be, you should get the funding next summer?
If we get the funding this year, we can start from next year.
Okay. And so we'll be getting announcements out of asking individuals if they would like to be trained. Because once you're trained, you can, the rest of your life,
you can monitor at your own rest of your life and let us know. You're just monitoring, you're just monitoring. Then it will become just the baseline for the management by the Hammond Park and Recreation Department.
So, if there's no further questions.
I have a question. I mean, this seems to be concentrated on the Indiana side. Why isn't it the balance on the Illinois side? And what's the point of just doing half?
That is politics.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, so because originally, I really want to have that open, okay, in the both Illinois and the Indiana side. But state of Indiana, they do not want to spend their tax money, so there's something was done in the Illinois side. So with this proposal, yes, I can just spend money for the Indiana students, just pay for the stipend or just whatever, but not in Illinois. But what I'm saying is training itself is not limited, it's open to. Even for the Illinois state, they're probably not going to get paid, but it does not mean they're not going to get trained. If they just volunteer, everyone is welcome to and get just trained for their both the residents and the students. But unfortunately, the kind of financial resource not going to be available. But training itself is open, okay, to both sides.
But I might add that politics doesn't keep things from happening. For example, on the Illinois side, the Friends of the Forest they're restoring. What are they restoring? Powderhorn Lake and Prairie.
We're working on Anchorage Grove too.
And then John Pastry, I expect to arrive in a moment. Next week we have our bustle of students. John is doing restoration work in Anchorage Grove and along the Burnham Greenway, and also Alex DeSalva from Community Calumet College of St. Joseph, just across Lake George, on the other side of Lake George. He'll be doing some work on Wolf Lake as well. So what I wanted to to do today, and I don't know, Alex says he might stop by. I wanted Young to get together with John and Alice Brandon from the Friends of the Forest and Alex, because a watershed, you can't treat half a watershed. Right? You can't treat half a watershed.
No.
And so, we exist, the Association for the Wolf Lake Initiative exists to bring Indiana and Illinois together to the same table so they can talk about what they're doing, share what they're doing, and by doing that, they're better able to raise money and to get the collaboration that you really want. Because any ecologist knows that you got to treat the whole watershed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so, and that's our effort, and that's one of the reasons why we do this.
Yeah, since I am trying to apply for the state fund, yes, it's limited in Indiana, but there's many different ways we can actually do this for both states, particularly when trying to federal fund or some other private funds, yeah. So it is actually our initial and ultimate the intention of doing it. But at this time, we are applying for state funds. Illinois side was Illinois, Indiana side was Illinois. But that's only for the financial wisdom. But the training itself is not limited. It's open table.
So, anyway, any other questions? Or I just wanted to add the quality of water in Wolf Lake is better than what you will find in the Lake Michigan Basin, and which may or may not be a good comparison, but it's always been good there. And the only thing that you have to be aware of is, as young Choi said, is stirring up the, especially in the Forsyth Park area, the North Channel. You don't want to stir that up because there's things that are buried in the soil that that are pretty nasty.
You better not fish there.
Yes. And what they did in the restoration of the shoreline, they along the channel, in kind of like a ladder formation, they planted aquatic plants almost across the entire width of the North Channel. So when the water flows from the north into the larger body of Wolf Lake, it's cleansed somehow because the aquatic plants track some of the bad stuff that comes off of Indianapolis Boulevard. A lot of the runoff from Indianapolis Boulevard is probably the petroleum products. It's probably the worst thing that comes to help them. So if there's no other questions, we can take maybe a 1-minute break to stretch.